Hello, people. This is Rainbow Pieces. Just doing a little talk about 4Kids now. I know I do a lot of random rants, but I was gonna do a more reasonable one, not do so much as like 4Kids sucks, rather kind of what they can do to fix themselves. But I noticed that they use the same voice actors a lot. They kill the entire plot with their puns, and they do all the censorship. But like I've watched Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, and I'm kind of upset. I mean, I never really watched the Japanese version, but my friends keep on telling me like you actually watch in Japanese, and I'm missing a lot. Like the name changes to the monsters and whatnot, all the dragons, like all the edits to the violence, and they kind of play a big role. Like with Carly's death, even though in 4Kids she didn't die, she was saved, but we all know she died. So the emotion towards that was completely different because I nearly cried when I saw it in Japanese. It's like, oh my gosh, Carly, she's dying, no. But when I saw it in English, it's like, yeah, I didn't really feel that way. But then I watch Pokemon all the time when I watch the 4Kids version. It's like, this is really good. Because, really, if I had to say, 4Kids is just more well known for killing the plot. And it's not like the voice actors themselves are bad, it's just that they use them for the wrong characters. Like Akiza's voice, it makes me kind of want to hurt myself in a way, because she's just, I don't know, I just don't like her voice. It's like she lacks feelings. Like, you can't even tell she has emotion there. She just has that whiny attitude. But going back to the whole what they should do, what 4Kids should do is that they should stop like licensing anime that's not really for the right demographic. Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, I can easily tell, is probably not a 4Kids show. That is probably not for, as the guide sometimes says, for 7-year-olds. It's not. That is not a 7-year-old show in Japanese anime. In the original format, there is blood, there is cursing, there is violence. Maybe not cursing, I don't know, but there's a lot of stuff that you wouldn't really expect in like a kid's anime. I mean, it is a shonen, but maybe not for that age group. Maybe not for little kids. That stuff has some more touchy topics. So maybe for like slightly older, more mature, like not preteen, teenage, but definitely higher than 7. But I noticed that because in all the anime that 4Kids actually does right, the protagonists, they're like around the same age as the age group themselves. Like Pokemon, we're following Ash Ketchum, Duh. Big duh. But we can, like, little kids can follow him because he's a kid. Like, all the characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, like, except for, like, Leo and Luna, everyone else is, like, older than, like, 16. And it's like, I don't think 7-year-olds want to watch stories about people who are, like, 2 times their age. Because how can you connect with them more if you don't know what problems they're dealing with? And that is what makes it so bad whenever they license anime that's where the protagonists are like adults, freaking adults. Because it's like, I'm looking at Yusei, who's like 17, 18, and he's got the vocabulary of like a 7-year-old or an 8-year-old with like his little crummy puns. And it's like, they completely killed that personality. He is supposed to be that silent, badass guy in Japanese, but they made him like the good guy, the hero, the person you're supposed to follow in his footsteps because he does the right thing. And he always says he's going to do the right thing. And they made Jack Atlas, who's a not-so-quiet badass, they made him into a bully. I don't really like that. That's definitely not good. So if you plan on watching Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, don't, because they dumb down the personalities into something that you might as well see in a schoolyard. But, and like Shaman King, I never really watched Shaman King, and I didn't watch One Piece either, but I know those were both terrible things. And I'm trying to remember. I mean, yeah, Shaman King was licensed by 4Kids, but they did bad things to that too. And notice, both those anime are not really for children. I know that there were a lot of complaints towards Shaman King because it was still too violent. But it's like, if 4Kids started licensing anime like Dinosaur King and Pokemon, where there's not much they have to censor, like not too much, there's still some censorship because America's views on what's appropriate for children are different for what's appropriate in Japan. What else? But they don't have to censor as much in the kids' anime. They don't have to worry about censoring out, like, so much cleavage in Pokemon unless the episode is surrounding that. Like, the beach episode, they had to censor some of that. They had to censor, like, the entire episode. We didn't even see it for a long time. But that's probably like, yeah, like, they don't have to censor so much. But in Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, whenever a keys is out, they have to censor that. Whenever you see the cards, they have to censor that. Whenever they have the soundtrack, you have to censor that. Even though censors, I mean, the music themselves is all right. But for anime that in Japan is not for the demographic that we see in America, they have to censor, like, twice as much. So why spend all that money for censorships when you're going to have to do that every single episode? Whereas if you have an anime that's for children, you really don't have to do too much. Maybe, like, change the names, change, like, maybe the title of the anime. Like, do some heavy changes that 4Kids is well known for, but you don't have to, like, edit out everything that we have to watch the Japanese version or to understand just what the heck happened or what the heck, why are they doing this? Obviously, they can't be doing it for the power of friendship. But, yeah, those are just my thoughts. So, 4Kids, I'm not going to say anything bad because everyone needs money nowadays. But just heed my advice and just start taking, like, anime that's actually for kids. So you won't have to work too hard as to make it for kids. You won't have to kill the plot as strongly and create a storm of anger because it's like, 4Kids, you suck. Why did you do that to Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds? That was a great show in anime. Great show, anime. Whatever. Great stuff. But, yeah, that's just my thoughts. So, hopefully that works out. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. And I'm sorry that it's like 6 minutes, 31 seconds. I talked a lot, and I didn't prepare this. So, peace out. This is Rainbow. God bless.